I think I heard something about it. The cruise line supplies gentleman dance hosts for unaccompanied ladies. It was a lot of fun learning to do the cha-cha and mambo. My partner's name is Ed Gardner. He used to be a shoe salesman, and now that he's retired, he spends most of his time cruising and dancing. Doesn't that sound like a fun life? Not really, but Tricia wasn't about to burst Mary's bubble. Luke, Mary's ex, hated to dance. He even griped about being forced into it at our wedding. That was the last time he joined me on any dance floor. But learning to do those dance steps was so much fun. I felt like I could be a contestant on Dancing with the Stars. Tonight I'm going to the ballroom to try out these new steps, and I'm dressing to the nines. I sure hope Ed is going to be there. What a card! Maybe you should come, she suggested. I'm afraid I have 2 left feet, Tricia lied. She'd been forced to go to dancing school all those years ago. It was something her mother made her and Angelica do. Angelica took to it like a fish to water. Tricia, well, she could do it, but really enjoyed dancing only with Christopher. Just the thought of those happy times, and the fact that they'd never happen again, brought on another pang of sadness. Don't let me keep you from lunch, Tricia said. I'm meeting Leona. I can't wait to tell her about it, too, Mary said, gave a wave, and entered the restaurant. Tricia went back to scanning the faces of the other cruisers entering the restaurant. By the time Angelica showed up almost 10 minutes later, she'd put the memories of herself and Christopher out of her mind. Almost. Angelica approached, smiling and waving cheerfully. I was beginning to think you weren't going to show up, Tricia said. I'm sorry I'm late. EM's lecture, and that's just what it was, ran a little late. Well, you're here now. You can tell me all about it after we grab lunch. I'm starved. The sisters entered the cafeteria-style restaurant and joined the line in front of the long stainless steel trays of food on offer. Everything looked so colorful, so vibrant, so wonderful. Angelica picked up a tray, a plate, and silverware, and Tricia did likewise, following behind her. As they inched forward, Tricia looked over the food, including more than a dozen vegetable side dishes. She sized them up while Angelica dived straight into the protein, heaping samples of shrimp, chicken, and beef onto her tray. Tricia chose a tablespoon or 2 of various cooked vegetables. Is that all you're going to have? I thought you said you were starving. I'm still considering my options. There's a salad bar just across the way, Tricia pointed out. This is a vacation. You're supposed to pig out, Angelica said, exasperated. That's not my style, and you know it, Tricia said. Angelica shook her head and added some mashed potatoes to her plate, but avoided the Irish bangers. Tricia headed for the salad bar, grabbed a bowl, setting it on her tray, and adding greens, a couple of cherry tomatoes, and a slice of cucumber. Nearby were small ramekins of pâté and what a sign promised was duck confit. Now that was a decadent treat. There could only be a couple of tablespoons in the tiny white dish, and she decided to splurge. She caught up with Angelica at the coffee station, poured herself a cup, and then followed her sister to a table by a window. The sea was a bit choppy, but the ship seemed to cut through the waves without jostling a thing. So, how was EM's lecture? Tedious, Angelica said. I was glad I took a notebook with me. EM must have thought I was writing down her every word, but I was actually jotting down notes for the next chamber newsletter. I must remember to take some pictures, although I'm sure I can rely on Ginny and Antonio and the others for some candid shots. Perhaps we'll make it a double issue. It is the first trip the chamber has endorsed, Tricia said. If it's successful, maybe we'll do another one next year, Angelica said, picking up her fork and diving into her mashed potatoes. Tricia cut one of her tiny tomatoes in half.